Welcome to another episode of Drivers4Drivers. I'm Ken Cox. Today we have Francis Amazon with us today.
Wonder where he is.
Yeah, he's MIA. Like you called him. I think maybe because he was on here last time by himself. He was like, you know what? You fellers can dig it.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's just ghosted us.
We've got Kenny Kurtz.
Howdy.
Behind the scenes, we've got Arnell.
Hello.
And we are Drivers4Drivers. Well, just got back from Indianapolis.
Was you IndyCar racing?
I wish. They had some pretty cool Indy cars there. We have, was it the National Truck Driving Championship? They did have FedEx's NASCAR there. They did a burnout in the facility that we were at. I mean, it was kind of a weak burnout. It was just like,
You know they could have been better.
Oh, Mo could have been much better. That would have been so cool. Jake did phenomenal. First time being there. He wasn't a rookie, but he was a rookie. So a rookie is somebody that's the first time to their state TDC and first time to nationals. So he's been to the TDCs a couple times before, and this is his first nationals. And so, there's a lot of pressure on there. As you can see through the videos and the pictures and the B-roll that we've put all together, this place is huge. There was 422 drivers.
And indoors is different than outdoors.
It certainly was. I mean, it was nice.
Shiny floor, glaring in your eye.
My eyeballs. The banquet, the awards banquet, there was 1,500 people there.
Did they have banquet chicken?
They didn't. We had roast beef, a asparagus, and mashed potatoes.
Oh, they went all out.
Yeah. It was pretty good. So, putting on our TDC here in the state, I wanted to get backstage. I wanted to get to every little crevice that I could so I could take notes, so I could bring all of that knowledge back here. So when we do it this next year, I have all of that experience and knowledge, right?
Yeah, I saw your footage and I was like, how did he get access here? He looks like he's media. This is weird.
Funny enough, I was looking at the itinerary and there was a media vlogger meeting that I thought, I'm going to go attend this, so why not? So I get in there and they're telling us the do's and don'ts. And like, hey, you need to have this card that says media. You need to have on a safety vest. And I'm like, great. I have my iPhone. I've got a new iPhone. I have my iPhone. And I got this little rig. So I'm like, I'm really cool. I'm going to take some video, I'm looking at some of these guys, and I think I've got photos of this.
Yeah, they had like super professional cameras.
There's $10,000, $15,000 rigs. They've got them on gimbals. They've got them on, these guys are to the nines. And I'm listening to some of the conversations like, oh yeah, I shoot Ferraris and, I do all these Food Channel stuff. And I'm like some of the bigger competitors hire these companies to come in and film it all, right? TDC, National TDC, the ATA, they film. Bring in professionals to do this, and I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, I felt so dumb. I was like, I'm just doing it on my iPhone. So everything that we see, all the B-roll and all the good stuff is off of my iPhone. Kudos to Apple, I guess, because they'll make you look a little less silly.
That's epic.
And yeah.
Did you win the test?
Yeah, I had to get a name tag. So I went up to the front and I go, I'm with Gilmer Transportation, and I'm doing media, and I need a name tag. And they were like, okay, there you go. I was like, I'm legit. So that gave me access to go anywhere I wanted to. There was quite a few people in the ATA who knew who I was from the ITA's TDC here in Idaho. So I wasn't too far off from being able to roll around. So that was really cool. Some things that I brought out of that was all the volunteers that are there. They're all volunteers all over the United States. You've got 8 different categories, 50 states, 422 drivers. Between the 422 drivers, 685 million safe miles. It blows my mind. That's safe miles. In order to, so let's say this is all of America's drivers, right? You have to go a year with the same company, And in that year, you have to drive 11 months out of the 12 months, and you have to have 0 accidents. Some of them are even at fault and not at fault accidents. So then now all of a sudden your pool's this big. Now out of this much of the pool, you've got companies that don't participate. And it's really neat to participate, in my opinion, because I think like it's huge on safety. If you go onto their website and you look, it talks about safety, safety, safety. I mean, the program goal, the championships are a great incentive for professional drivers to operate safely. That's, that's part of it. So then now you're down to like this much of a pool. And then out of this much, so we started here and we're now down to here. These male women can operate or go to these TDCs. And so they're out there and they're doing all this stuff. And then out of that, you've got one person and you got 8 or 9 people that go to nationals out of each category. Because everyone gets together and does all this stuff. It's just.
What did Idaho have? 9?
Yeah, we had that.
That is tanker and sleeper bird.
Yep.
Flatbed.
Take your sleeper berth, flatbed, step van, straight truck. That's there's more.
Straight truck.
Yep. Like UPS. Like those,
Like you all?
U-Haul. Yeah. Grab your U-Haul and go practice. I got watching over, not chain footer. All of the other categories. There's 3-axle, 4-axle, 5-axle. Twins. I think that's it. Yeah.
So what is the days? How did each day go? What did they have to do each day?
Each day. So day one, everyone shows up, butt crack of dawn. It's like 6:30 in the morning. They figure out where their rooms are supposed to be, and they go with what they call their den mothers. And then that group stays, and that's each place. So Jake went and was with the sleeper berth fellers. And so from there, they had to stay together as a group, and they'd go from point A to point B, and they'd have to be, shuttled around. And you can kind of see that through some of the B-roll that come walking out of the door. Anyway, they go through their test. You have a written test. You have a book you got to study, and all the information's in that book. They do their written test, and then they come down and they can come see the course. So they walk through the course. I think they've got like 5 minutes to walk through the course to get their first glance at what they're going to do. Then they go back up and wait. And then from there, they go down and do pre-trip. Their pre-trip inspections, they've got 5 major problems and 5 minor problems.
And they have to find these problems within so when he's looking around, he's got to identify where the problems are at.
Yep. He's got to identify them. He's got, I think it's 10 minutes to figure it out, to go through everything on this truck. And he's got to say, I don't remember what he says. They sit there and they give a little briefing. You got a defect. So they sit there and they go, defect, crack in the windshield. And the judge isn't going to tell you whether it's a defect or not. You just, and you can't go say, defect, the whole truck. It doesn't work. You got to be specific. So once they get done with that, they get escorted back. And then that was the first day. The second day, the first day he also drove. So then he went through the whole course, did his 6 obstacles, and then the second day it was an off day, and they brought in the other categories, and then they got knocked out. So during that day, we hopped on little green scooters and puttered around Indianapolis. They had some really cool stuff going on in Indianapolis. They have, in the middle of town, they have this war memorial obelisk, and you can get in the elevator and you go all the way to the top. I forgot that Marla was afraid of heights, and we had talked her into it. And this little elevator, all 3 of us barely fit in there. We get all the way to the top, and she's like hell. She's sweating, and she's like, I don't know if I can get off of this elevator. You get up there, and you can see everywhere, She totally came out and was like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm like, just remember, Lola, it's an adventure, right? So she was able to get that, couple of that fear. And we went back down, but part of that memorial is that night they broadcast on the buildings around there, like this short little 5-minute program. And then they pay homage to those soldiers and whatnot that have lost their lives. So they play taps. And I've got personal stories with taps and that kind of stuff. And so, like, for me, it was like kind of emotional a little bit. I was like, this is really, really cool. So we spent the day, we went and, saw some sights and whatnot. And then the next day we went and it was their like little program where they go through and they do a little parade and they show all the trucks that, and all the sponsors. And that's where the FedEx NASCAR came through. And then they announce all of the drivers. So 422 drivers come across the stage, and then they announce who's the top 5 finalists. And so they go through, and we had a fella in Idaho make the top 5, and I want to say that was Tinker. He ended up getting 4th. He ended up placing 4th. And then anyway, so then that happens, and then they have a different course set up, and they have all those finalists do one more course. And then later on that evening, nope, it's the next day. The next day we do, I can't remember now if it was later on that evening or if it was the next day, we go through and they do this awards banquet. And it is just insane. There's 1,500 people in there. We're all dressed really nice. We've got suits and ties on. We're representing Giltner and Idaho, really, really well. Everybody else is dressed to the nines. And they start reading off all of these people. And something else that was going on at the same time was the, I want to call it, it's the NAIC. So all of the DOT officers, they were also getting tested. So the best of the states were getting tested, and they were doing their like pre-trip inspections as well. And they had to go through and find defects and do all that kind of stuff. There was a gentleman from Idaho, we wouldn't show.
They get a lot of practice at that.
I was wondering why I was like, why are you recording this guy?
Yeah, and that's what it was. He was up there, competing as well, and I had no idea that was part of. I didn't even know that was something that they did. That was pretty exciting for me.
Not a guy to a place on that.
I don't know. They had Alaska there. I mean, it was really, really pretty cool to watch that. Everyone's chanting. The camaraderie through this whole thing was just awesome. Everyone's nervous. You're playing on a field that's, they call it the truck driving Olympics, right? Like you're up there with the best of the best of the best, and your nerves are shot. You're just like, oh my gosh. But everyone has just come together. They're kind of, you are rooting for the guy next to you, but you also hope, he hits that barrier or runs over that duck, So anyway, went through it, had the banquet, had a good time. Something definitely want to do again. I'm a huge component of TDCs. I think it promotes safety, camaraderie. It helps build this community up a lot better. So
Sounds like a great time.
I think everyone should do it.
I want to ride the scooter.
They hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty.
I'm telling you, that was so much fun. Easy to get in trouble.
They let you on the sidewalks with scooters?
Yes.
Ish.
They also have places on the road where you can go. So we were all over the place. But I mean, it was a good time. I think everybody should do it.
We encourage our drivers to participate,
Yes.
don't we?
Yep, we absolutely do. We've got slots open for this next year. If you're willing and able and wanting to or need information on it, even if you're not part of the Giltner organization, let's say you're part of some other outside organizations and you're curious and want to know more about it, I'm happy to assist with that, get you rolling.
Think you in the right direction.
Yep. We can get your program started. We can get your company started on it. It's super, super simple. We can get you the building blocks and the rules and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we know Giltner takes safety as priority.
Yep.
We give out awards to all of our drivers as well. I think, 2 in the last month got 1 million mile awards in.
Yep, we've got 2. We've got 5 total. The other 3 haven't come out yet. Once all of them have come out, we're going to put them together. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, we've got 5 people with 1 million safe miles
With Giltner.
with Giltner.
No, that's great. We need to give them some kudos for sure.
Absolutely. And this coming, Francis, we need a safety topic.
You threw me off guard. I know it is road construction season.
Is it road construction
That's
season?
all I see anymore.
There's a lot of cones out there.
Yeah, and gravel. The wind's blowing.
Mm-hmm. Starting to get a little chilly too.
Let's slow down in some construction. How's that?
Absolutely. Make sure that you're keeping your eyes up so you can see down the road as far as you can see. If you notice that you're merging coming into one lane, let's do that before it's an issue, before we get to the point where you have to merge or you're going to be running over cones. And so should we do that beforehand?
Well, construction zones get skinnier too.
Yeah.
Well, real easy to cross line, and especially this one here between Drone and Twin. Oh my goodness.
Coming to and from work, it never fails that when we're getting towards those little bridges, like there's a semi right there, so I'll slow down so we both have room, and then I'll speed up.
Yeah, they're thin.
Yeah.
Not real smooth either.
No. Tell me why the engineers cannot figure that out. It doesn't matter what state you're in, the transition on and the transition off of bridges are absolutely horrendous.
You would think with our engineers out, they could make them smoother.
Yeah, just let's, straight instead of like, let's jump the caddy and see if we can make it to the other side. Like, I just don't get it. Do you guys get it? Do you guys understand? Fill me out here. Are you an engineer? Please help me.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
I guess we'll check Francis' schedule a little better next time.
We're going to have to let us know what the panel was about and how you did.
Yeah.
Good talk.
See you, Francis.
Closing thoughts?
I just had a question about the whole TDC. When he comes out and looks at the course or so forth, like, how does he know what he's going to do? Like, how does he know what he's going to do? That's what I'm curious about.
So he can look at it and kind of, so you're not supposed to measure, you're supposed to just get an idea of what the course is. Like you're supposed to get the full, like, oh, this is the first one, this is the second problem, third problem, fourth problem, fifth, sixth problem. And kind of get an idea of.
Did they tell you what you have to do? They're like, come out here, then back into this?
They do. So in their pamphlet, in their book, it shows them what the problem is and then how to navigate that and how to score on that. Mm-hmm. So he kind of gets an appreciation of how to do that. And I'll tell you what, if you look at our Instagram and you looked at the reel that's there and it shows Jake getting up into a red Kenworth, right? If you watch that 700 times, you're never going to notice it unless you know what you're looking for. He lost 25 points, so safety's huge, and part of the points system is you have to have 3 points of contact getting in and getting out of the vehicles. So like half a second, he didn't have 3 points of contact. If you look at that, you can see where that was. So he lost 25 points for that, though.
And it's a one-time shot, and that's it, right?
You get to see it once, then you get to go back, you get to relive it in your head for the next few hours, and then until it's your turn, they bring you out, and you hop in that truck, you adjust your mirrors, you adjust your seat, and then off you go.
Probably an advantage if we had Kenworths.
Yeah, and he was a huge disadvantage. Well, he runs around in a classic, Freightliner Classic.
That's different than our Kenworth.
Yeah, so
The mirrors, everything on these trucks are all different.
everything's different.
Yeah.
He did really well for being. He was quite disadvantaged.
He is a competitor.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's right now. He's amped. I've had 4 phone calls from him today already. He is amped and ready and wanting to run TDC next year. The next year, that's all he's going to be doing. Is sitting there going all through this. He's going to be reading. He's going to be. He'll take first next year.
Nice. Perfect.
Closing thoughts.
Stay safe out there, bro. See you next time.
Thanks for making the better move. See you next time.